Okay, so the future of gaming looks unbelievably bleak, and I just gotta get into this. Alright, so I did initially do a video on my thoughts on the Switch 2, and just the more I thought about it, the more I started realizing, like, it's not just Nintendo, it's everyone. Like the title of this video, the future of gaming is just so apocalyptically bleak. I mean, I'll talk on my thoughts on the Switch 2 reveals, but I'm also going to be talking about Sony and Microsoft and PC as well. I mean, it's just like, I'm kind of at a point. I'm not getting any new consoles. Like, I'm almost to a point I'm going to be a retro gaming channel, period. Because, one, the games getting announced, less and less I am getting excited for games. I mean, I have kind of a list of games I'm somewhat interested in, and most of them are kind of sequels, and the other ones that aren't, nothing has kind of been said about them recently. I mean, like, there's a game called Routine I got really excited for. Nothing's been said about that for like 3 or 4 years. I'm excited about Alien Isolation 2. That's a sequel. I'm excited about the fourth Darksiders. That's a sequel. Directive 8020, maybe, but that's kind of just a point-and-click adventure. I mean, I am excited for Gears of War E-Day and Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra, but until I see who's working on those are kind of up in the air. I mean, you have things that are kind of exciting, like that new vampire game called, like, you know, Dawn of the is it Dawn of the Dawnwalker or Rise of the Dawn? Anyway, the guys who made Witcher 3 are making it. Not the hacks that are at CD Projekt Red now, but the actual talent that made The Witcher 3 are making that game. And it's like, okay, this actually looks good. It looks interesting, and I actually want to play it. I mean, when I played The Witcher 3, I was super excited about just the notion of, you know, it'd be really cool if we got a game where you played as Cirilla, all grown up with these, like, insane powers, and you gotta go on, like, this, like, power trip, you know, like, just adventure, where you just get to, like, throw monsters around with your powers. And you're kind of getting that now with The Witcher 4, with it being announced, but let's be honest, I don't want those people making it. I want the people who made Witcher 3 making it, and they're not making it. So I have, like, absolute zero interest in that game, especially when some reports are, you're not going to actually be fighting monsters, you're going to be fighting, you know, the patriarchy. It's just... Yeah, the reason why I like The Witcher is because I'm fighting monsters. That's what attracted me to those games and to that series. But enough about The Witcher. This year, kind of the only game I'm somewhat excited about... Okay, no, correction. The only game I'm really excited about is Doom: The Dark Ages. And one of the reasons why I'm really excited about it is because it has the same crew that made Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. They have not announced that Sweet Baby Inc. has gotten their tentacles into it to ruin the story, and they have not announced any stupid policy. It's just, hey, we made 2 amazing Doom games, we want to make some more, but set in the Dark Ages. It's like, shut up and take my money now. Like, that's it. That's kind of the only game I'm excited for. I'm not excited about the new Call of Duty game, whatever it is, because it's going to be online only. Period. The last Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, was 100% online only, and the reason why the campaign was online only was because we need to be able to stream textures. So it's like, yeah, Call of Duty is dead to me. The last Call of Duty was Modern Warfare 3, the one that everyone hated. But I have a copy of it because, one, it didn't have any of the previous writers of Modern Warfare 2, and it's the last Call of Duty game that you can somewhat play offline. So I want a copy of that, and now Call of Duty is a dead franchise, in my opinion. Until they start having their campaign playable offline. You know, that pesky thing where you fight against AI-controlled bots through the entire thing. You know, when that is playable offline, I might come back to Call of Duty. We were down to 3 console manufacturers. I was a diehard Sony fan when this generation started. It's like, oh, I absolutely loved the PlayStation 4. It was one of the greatest consoles in my lifetime. I absolutely loved that thing, despite its flaws that it had. So when the PS5 got announced, it's like, it's backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4? Hell yeah, I'm getting a PS5. And I get the PS5, it's like, yeah, storage, dog shit. Got rid of themes, which were awesome on the PS4. For that period of time, the only way you could have a PS5 game on it was through the pathetically small solid-state drive. You couldn't even add a solid-state drive and store games that way. That was freaking hilarious when they did that. Oh yeah, we're only going to make like 1 or 2 games a year, and there's a good chance that one of those 2 games is going to be a remaster or a remake. How Sony only focuses on a handful of games now. It is so stupid and pathetic that it's just infuriating. I mean, and Sony, they came out and they had the gall to say, "Oh, we don't have enough good IPs to be able to stand on our own. That's why we need Call of Duty and stuff like that." And when they said that shit, I like basically washed my hands of Sony. It's like, you will never see me buy another piece of your Apple knockoff shit ever again, Sony. Because it's like, all they focus on is Horizon Zero Dawn, Last of Us, Spider-Man, God of War, and Gran Turismo. And it's like, they have no concept of Uncharted, Astrobot, Ratchet & Clank, Bloodborne, Days Gone, Ghost of Tsushima, Infamous, Resistance, Killzone, Twisted Metal, Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter, Little Big Planet, Spyro, Siphon Filter. Need I go on? The way you had companies individually acting in Sony was so infuriating that it's just like, okay, I'm sick of that company, I'm sick of that company, I'm sick of... Oh, I'm out of companies that Sony owns that makes games. I guess I don't like Sony anymore. I mean, take it for example, Guerrilla Games, okay? They made Horizon Zero Dawn. Excellent game. Really awesome game. Fun game. And then a couple years later, they announced Horizon Zero Dawn 2. It's like, oh my gosh, a second one? Like, wow, okay, we got a sequel. Then they do a massive DLC that's basically a game unto itself. They do a Lego game. They announce that there's 2 different multiplayer games coming. They announce a VR game. They announce a TV series that turned into a movie. And all Guerrilla Games would do is talk about Horizon. Horizon this, Horizon that, Horizon this, Horizon that, Horizon, 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 Horizon. Oh, Art Book of Horizon, Cooking Book of Horizon. All they will talk about is Horizon. And it's like, now I am so sick of hearing about Horizon Zero Dawn. Guerrilla Games ran that IP into the ground in the span of like 2 to 3 years. It is truly impressive how that company was able to ruin such an amazing IP in such a little amount of time. And meanwhile, you have all these fans of Killzone, their old IP, going on all fours with their ass exposed to Sony, like, we will let you do whatever you want to our bodies if you will just give us one more Killzone. And Guerrilla Games on several points have stated, we have no interest in Killzone, we never want to go back to that franchise, we are done with Killzone, good riddance, we never even want to hear the name again. little bit hyperbolic on that last part. But it's just like, you have a clear demand, you have a clear fan base, and you will not serve it. Instead, Guerrilla just wants to talk about Horizon. It's so bad that diehard fans of Killzone have sent an open letter to Sony saying, please, for the love of all that's holy, we will buy the rights from you so we can make a new Killzone game. Just let us buy it from you. And Sony, it's crickets. It's like, oh, we don't have any good IPs that we can make. We're so limited on our IPs. We don't talk about Killzone though. Literally, Ben Studios approached Sony and said, hey, we would like to make a Resistance 4. We think there's a market for it. And Sony and Insomniac, it's like, no, we have no interest in that. Insomniac did the same thing like Guerrilla Games. It's like, oh yeah, we've had people ask us about doing another Resistance game. We have no interest in Resistance. We never want to make another Resistance again. We just want to do, Marvel games with Sweet Baby Inc. ruining the stories on them. That's all we want to do right now. And so it's like you have two amazing IPs, and Sony and the companies that made them do not want to go back to them at all. But they don't have enough good IPs. It is so ridiculous. You have all these Sony companies, they will non-stop have Sweet Baby Inc. involved, a company that is known to have extremely racist employees, extremely sexist employees, extremely xenophobic employees, and all they care about with their writing assistants is throwing in their political agendas as much as humanly possible. I've heard rumor, I've not done a lot of research into it, that Sony is finally cutting ties with Sweet Baby Inc. It's about damn fucking time. It only took 5 years to do. You have companies that were once great like Naughty Dog, and in 2020 they screwed the pooch, mind the pun, and they decided to go after YouTube content creators. That action was what made me turn away from Naughty Dog forever. Like, I will never buy another Naughty Dog game again because of the horseshit that they pulled back in 2020. And just for anyone saying, oh, they were justified because there was a bunch of racist bigots that they were going against, not a single appeal was lost on YouTube against Naughty Dog. Actually do some freaking research into that and look up at the horrific violation of First Amendment rights that Naughty Dog did back in 2020 with their Muso limited DMCA strikes that they did against YouTube content creators. But in the words of Alex Gollin, who the fuck cares? Yeah, Sony is a joke. In just the course of a couple years, they went so anti-consumer that it's like, I have no interest in the PlayStation 6. Period. I have absolute zero interest. It could be the coolest thing ever. And it's like, no, because you went the way of Apple. Charging $30 for a stand? Are you out of your mind? $700 for a console that makes the grass look slightly sharper. Okay? I don't care. I actually thought that Nintendo might have been my last bastion. Because, I have Nintendo products. I have a Nintendo Switch that I customize completely. I put a different shell on it, custom buttons. Like, I went all out for Nintendo. I have a Wii U back there that I plan on doing many videos on in the future. I mean, I don't hate Nintendo. And I was actually kind of thinking like, well, Sony screwed the pooch royally. Xbox is screwing the pooch. And I will get an Xbox in a minute. It's like, okay, I think maybe for the 10th generation, Sony or Nintendo might actually be the last bastion of hope. Because, the Switch sold insanely well. and the Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible with digital and physical Switch 1 games. Like, this might actually be a good alternative to the insanely greedy Sony and the kind of stupid Xbox. And that opening, like, that video they showed on April 4th showing, you know, all the things that Nintendo was offering with the Switch 2, it's like, okay, I could see this working. And it's a little weird that like intro game isn't packed in, but okay. And like the lineup looked good. I mean, the lineup looked really good, but they weren't saying the price of the console. And like, look, $450 is a lot of money. Okay, I'm not going to lie, that's a lot, but it's handleable. Okay, like you can handle it. It's like, okay, it really sucks that this isn't $250 or $300. That really sucks, but for certain people, it's like, okay, I can handle $450. I mean, look at the ridiculously overpriced PlayStation VR 2. Okay, that thing, I would say to this day, is not worth $550. $350, which it just was dropped to, maybe. Okay, over time, console prices do drop unless your PlayStation 5, for some reason, that keeps going up, because I think Sony's are officially inflating the price of the PlayStation 5, but that's a story for another time. But, you know, like, generally, over the course of the past couple of years, console prices go down. It's like, okay, maybe, I can't afford it now, but maybe in a while it'll be $300 or something. But then you find out that the same console in Japan is going to be $320. It's like, wait a minute, it's $130 less in Japan? And some people say, oh, well, that's because of the Trump tariffs. Nintendo already came out and said their pricing is not because of the tariffs Trump did. So stop trying to make this a political issue about Donald Trump, okay? It has nothing to do with Donald Trump. This is not a Trump issue. Nintendo confirmed this much. Which, now that I think about it, I'm kind of impressed Nintendo did that. They literally came out and said, no, we are not using this scapegoat. We actually are just a bunch of greedy bastards. That's literally what Nintendo did. I mean, real balls. That's a bold strategy, Con. Let's see if it pays off for him. I mean, $320 actually is a pretty good price for the Switch 2. Okay? If they were to actually drop that across the board, say, hey, look, around the world, we're just going to charge $320 because, let's be honest, console manufacturers don't make the money off the console. They make the money off the software. So, usually, with rare exception, console manufacturers, they lose money on their consoles, okay? They'll make the console, and they sell it for a loss, because they know that people who buy the console are going to buy games for it, and they sell the games at a premium, and that's how they make their money back. But for some reason, this last generation, people went insanely stupid in these console manufacturers, like, hey, let's just overcharge people on these consoles and make all money off the consoles that way. And be a little hyperbolic, because I know probably with these insanely high prices, they're still at a loss, probably. But like they're saying the $450 price point, they're still getting a loss at. It's like, yeah, if you're already losing money on it, sell it at $350 and you'll get people to buy it. But then I heard the cost of the games. $80 fucking dollars for a Nintendo Switch game. 90 sometimes if you want to get it physically. Okay, apparently a large majority of the Switch 2 physical games are just digital download codes on the card. Which is like, why get physical then? I'm sick and tired of these, oh, we only have the CD key on the disc. Okay, Call of Duty started doing that. It was so insanely stupid that Call of Duty did that. It was the first domino to fall in me not playing Call of Duty anymore. But I mean, $80 is insane. I mean, okay. Getting a premium edition of a game like I'm trying to do with Doom: The Dark Ages. Okay? $100. But with that, you get the soundtrack, you get the pre-order bonus, you get the DLC packs, you get all of the DLC that comes in the following months. It's like you get something for that $100. This is $80 to $90 for the stock basic release of a game. And for Mario Kart, I've heard some people say, well, Mario Kart, it's worth it. No. It's Mario Kart. You played one, you played them all. Okay? It's not even that great of a racer. You do like 15 miles an hour. There's no sense of speed with it. I mean, it's like one of my least favorite racing games. I have one Mario Kart, and there's a reason I only have one Mario Kart game. Because I've played others, and it's not that interesting of a game. Now, I understand. I'm shitting on some Mario Kart fans right now. Especially some good friends I have. But keep in mind, it's Mario Kart, okay? That shit should only cost $60. And the fans that go, oh, well, you know, we deserve to pay that because the value's there. And we've been getting away with too much of the value over these past couple of years. I've seen some people argue that those people are a special kind of dumb shit. $80 my ass. I mean, hell, Nintendo already were screwing people on the pricing with the Switch 1. Because when I got the Switch, it's like, okay, let's look at some of the games. And I see all the prices just like, what the hell? Why are all these games insanely expensive? It's like, oh yeah, you don't know. It's like, no, I don't. It's like, yes, Nintendo artificially inflates the price on their games. And so, you have a game like Breath of the Wild. It's been out for over 8 years. It's sold over, I think, something in the ballpark of like 10 million copies. And that shit still is $55 brand new. Over the course of 8 years, it's only gone down $5. Okay? Nintendo artificially inflates their prices. And before anyone tries to argue me with that, look at Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. It's $20. Okay? Because the Wii U was not that successful, so why would Nintendo worry about the price dropping on that console? And they do that with all their games. Metroid Dread, which is a spin-off game, I wouldn't call it a mainline series game, has never been underneath $40. That's like a $15 game, in my opinion. Okay? Metroid Prime 4, when it finally releases, that shit is never going under $60. It's infuriating, because that's actually one of the few first-party games that's like, that actually looks kind of good. But, I mean, Nintendo has always been dog shit with their game pricing, and they decide, yeah, you know what? We didn't get a lot of backlash last generation, so let's increase it by 30 to 40%. Because $80 for a standard release? Are you out of your collective ever-flipping mind? I can name on one hand when I've paid full price for a game. Okay? That's how rare I do it. And then, this is kind of a small nitpick, but in the grand scheme of things, they only raised the internal storage of the Switch 2 to 256 gigabytes. Are you kidding me? After making people suffer with 62 or 64 gigabytes internally on all the other Switches, you only raise it to 256? At the very least, the internal storage should have been 512 gigabytes. Because on the ROG Ally, that has 512 gigabytes of internal storage. And guess what? It's not nearly enough. These console manufacturers with the Sony, okay, 640 gigabytes was so fucking pathetic. My jaw hit the floor. It's like, that's it? That's all you're adding is 100 and something gigs of storage from your last console. They did that with a straight face. I couldn't believe it. And these console manufacturers, they think, oh, well, if we put too much storage in, they won't get any other storage. It's like, you morons, okay? You ever flippin' morons. We're still going to buy extra storage, okay? Because games keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. 512 gigs would not be enough for the Switch 2, but at least we'd be able to get a couple of games, and we'd be able to work with a couple of games. 256? Are you kidding me? Like, the only thing on the Switch 2 that actually was like, okay, there's some potential here, is the mouse feature, alright? Like, I could see that potentially not being utilized and just going by the wayside of the touchpad on the DualSense. But it also could really be capitalized on with first-person shooters. I could see the Switch 2 becoming a huge first-person shooter haven. You know, if people actually buy it in the numbers that they did with the Switch 1. I don't think Nintendo is going to sell that many Switch 2s to begin with. I think it's going to be a little bit like the 3DS, where no one's buying it. They have to do a price drop. And still, I don't think they're going to sell that much until they actually do a permanent price cut to their games at launch. When they announced that games were going up to $70 per game, people were not happy, and it was like, okay, you have a couple of asshole companies doing it. Most people just wait till they drop in price. And funny enough, analysis firms have come out and said, yeah, we found that ever since the increase to $70, people haven't been buying as much games. They've been waiting for it to drop in price. It's like, I could have told you that. I mean, you have to be a special kind of moronic stupid to not be able to see that. And for the people defending, well, no one complained when they went up to $70, so why you complain when they go up to 80? No, people complained. People didn't like it. People have not been buying games since they've gone up from $60. Okay? Newsflash, $60 was overpriced for some games. But we lived with it for a while. I mean, yeah, the game lineup for the Switch 2 kind of looks promising. Cyberpunk 2077 on Switch 2, kind of cool. You can play it on cheaper PC handhelds. Bloodborne 2. I'm sorry, I mean Duskborn Bloods. I was actually surprised that that's exclusive for the Switch 2. I mean, never a million years did I think that Dusk Bloods would become an exclusive for the Switch. I thought they would have released Bloodborne 2, Dusk Bloods on the PlayStation 5 and on Xbox Series X, but I guess Nintendo was just adamant that they wanted Bloodborne 2, Dusk Bloods on the Switch 2. I don't know why I keep calling it Dusk Bloods when it's actually Bloodborne 2. Bloodborne 2 when it's actually Dusk Bloods. Seriously, watch that trailer and tell me it's not Bloodborne 2. And then, like, with the upgrade system of games, this is a Sony issue too. I've heard so many people say, well, Sony does it. It's like, yeah, and no one likes it when Sony does it. But they're charging for upgrading a Switch 1 game you already own to the Switch 2 version. Okay? I mean, how anti-consumer can you get? Okay, it sucked when Sony does it. Okay, they're doing it $10 for just the graphical upgrade, and if it has any, and I mean any kind of new gameplay feature, it's going to be about $20. Okay? Meanwhile, over on the Xbox side of things, you want to upgrade from Xbox One to Series X? Yeah, you can do that for free. It's like, yeah. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying it, but the most consumer-friendly console of the three this generation has been the mother effing Xbox. And for some reason, it is the lowest performing console of the three. Okay, now granted, I have a serious hunch, suspicion, gut feeling that Sony has been faking their numbers on how many PS5s they've actually been selling. There's way too many suspicious coincidences about some of their number gathering statistics. But it's like, no, even with that in mind, the Xbox Series X is not selling. And it's like, honestly, I don't understand why. Because comparing it with the PS5, it is like superior in almost every way. And this is from a PlayStation fan, okay? I mean, during the Xbox One era, I shit all over the Xbox. But this era, whenever I see anyone say, hey, I'm looking at getting a new console, but I don't know if I should get a PS5 or an Xbox, it's like, okay, I have one question. Are you at all interested in VR? It's like, no, get an Xbox. Like, the only reason why I still have my PS5, the only reason is because of VR. That is it. If it wasn't for VR, I would have sold my PS5 so quick, because outside of VR, it is one of the most useless gaming consoles I have ever owned. It has not paid for itself yet. I have not gotten my $500 worth of value out of that piece of junk yet. I've about gotten it out of my Xbox, and I didn't pay $500 for my Xbox. Okay? The Xbox Series X has gone above and beyond the line of duty. At the end of this console generation, if I get rid of either one, it's going to be the PlayStation. Because that actually has been a pretty good console. That has been a piece of dog shit. I mean, and talk about being consumer friendly. Oh, you want to pause your game and leave and unplug your console, and a week from now plug it back in and continue where you're left off? Yeah, you can do that with Quick Resume. You do that with up to 3 games on Quick Resume. Pretty amazing. Oh, you got some backwards compatible games that will play on our system? You don't have to rebuy it digitally. You can pop that sucker in, and we'll just give you the digital version for free as long as you keep the disc. Okay? It's pretty consumer friendly. Oh, and if you don't have the disc, or the disc is like $80, because it's a rare game now, you can buy the game digitally from us typically. 9 times out of 10, you can buy it from us for dirt cheap prices. It's like, holy hell. Oh, and those backwards compatible games that you absolutely love, we're going to add high dynamic range free of charge. We're going to upscale them up to 4K free of charge. 120 frames or 60 frames if you don't have the right TV, free of charge. Anti-aliasing is going to be improved. Anisotropic filtering is going to be improved. Free of charge. Yeah. And for some reason, it's failing. I do not know why. Now, Graham, Xbox has screwed the pooch on various things this generation. One of which is their handling of their first-party IPs. Okay? Like, if they wanted to sell more consoles, they should have made some of their first-party games exclusive to the console. Okay? They should have made Indiana Jones and the Great Circle exclusive. If they had made Doom the Dark Ages exclusive to the Series X, oh my gosh, they would be selling so many Xboxes right now. But no, they wanted to be nice, and they wanted to hey, Doom's always been on other platforms, we're going to keep Doom on other platforms. Like, okay, stand up guys, okay? I'll give him that. But it had Jones and the Great Circle. You should have kept that shit exclusive. Okay? All your other games coming up, Avowed, should have been exclusive. I think Avowed is coming to PlayStation 5. Right now, the only Xbox game that has come out that is exclusive is that Sweet Baby Ink Trash South of Midnight. Look at the Steam numbers. That's doing really well. It's like they need a couple of heavy hitters that are going to be exclusive to the Xbox platform. And I keep hearing people say, oh yeah, it's been confirmed that all the Halos are coming to PS5. It's like, I've heard the rumor, but right now those are just rumors, and until it's been confirmed, it's not in stone. And I've had some people say, it's basically in stone. It's like, no, it's not, because it's just a rumor. And I think they should release the very first Halo on PS5 in exchange for, like, the very first God of War. Do, like, a foreign exchange program with Sony. Don't just release everything on the platform. But the reason why Xbox is doing that is because they desperately need money to keep Xbox Game Pass afloat, because it's not financially sound. And so it's like, we make a shit ton more money when we release everything on everything. And so we're releasing stuff on PlayStation. PlayStation goes nuts over our games, and so we make a lot of money. Our console does shit, but we make a lot of money. Microsoft's doing very well financially right now. And the other problem is, Microsoft also does, for some weird reason, hire Sweet Baby Eek for almost everything. It is infuriating. Fable looks amazing. I will not buy that dog shit, because I know that Sweet Baby Eek is involved. South of Midnight, the first trailer for South of Midnight looked fascinating. It's like, ooh, that looks good. And then I found out Sweet Baby Eek was involved. It's like, oh, I'm not buying that shit. And from what I've heard, the story's atrocious in that. It's like, anytime they're involved, I have zero interest in the game. I don't want anything to do with Sweet Baby Eek. And so it's like, yeah, Fable looks amazing. It looks jaw-dropping, gorgeous. No interest in it because Sweet Baby Eek's involved. Now, Xbox does what supposedly Sony has done recently, and they fire Sweet Baby Eek's ass, then yeah, I will probably get it. That's one of the reasons why I had no interest in Spider-Man 2. That, and the game director decided to tell every fan, go fuck themselves. It's like, oh, okay, you don't need my money. And look at South of Midnight. It can't even break 1,000 concurrent players on Steam. I mean, you know, because it wasn't making what the fans want, it was making what Sweet Baby Eek wants. Supposedly, the rumor is Sweet Baby Eek took control of that game away from the original, like, creative lead of that game, and basically he just left because it's like, it's not my game anymore. And it's like, okay, we're gonna make something that's gonna preach to people, and it's gonna be what they're supposed to like. And, you know, that's the state of gaming now. We keep getting these slop games that no one wants to play. You know how excited people would have been if the original creators of Dragon Age made Dragon Age the Veilguard instead of the talentless hacks that made Dragon Age the Veilguard? Okay? That game basically killed that franchise. Okay? It's probably going to be 20 years before you see any return to that game, because the game Veilguard failed so monolithically bad that it killed the franchise. Okay? Saints Row, that latest game, killed the franchise. Okay? No one would even consider making another Saints Row game now. This is the state of gaming. We have 3 console manufacturers that are not doing what the fans want. Okay? Going back to Xbox, they are hitting the gas on going always online and digital only. It is so infuriating with all the consumer-friendly things that they have been doing. That's the one thing that makes me not be a 100% Xbox cheerleader. Because it's like, yeah, we're going to stop doing we're going to stop doing physical games, and we are going to start doing digital only. And since we're doing digital only, we might as well be online only. It's like, no, screw you, Xbox. I mean, for the 10th generation of gaming, Nintendo has already proven that they are not the way to go with their insanely expensive $80 games that will never drop in price, because the value is just too good to ever lower the price. Sony is, for all intents and purposes, a lost cause. After this generation, I am done with Sony. Unless, like, the PlayStation 6 says, okay, look, it's going to be, like, an insanely low price. You're going to get, like, 2 terabytes of storage. It's going to make PS5 games look like PS2 compared to PS3. And, you know, games are going to stay at $60 to $70 game. We're going to be playable offline. It's going to be fully backwards compatible. Plus, we're going to be working on making other generations compatible. Like, if they hit every bell right, I might give the PS6 a chance. But knowing Sony, they are not going to do that. Okay, that leaves Xbox, and my hopes for Xbox are about as far as I can throw the entire company in one lump sum. You know how many tons that is? The buildings, the machinery, the processors, the server farms, the employees, the personal computers that they have, the mocha lattes that they carry into work every morning. I would have to be able to throw all that. Okay, that's not getting very far. That's how much I have faith in Xbox. So it's like, honestly, the way things are looking, I think I might be done with new games. I think this might become a retro channel. Okay? Just doing retro games, retro game retrospectives, you know, tips and tricks on old games, you know. I think this could theoretically be the end of this being a current gaming channel. So keep it up, Nintendo. Keep it up, Sony. Keep it up, Microsoft. Because I'm just one guy, but there's a lot of people that feel the same way as I do. This has been a rant. A very long one. My name's Chris Ricard with 11 Reviews, and that will be all for today.